claws into the Raiders. Both teams hold top 10 rankings in the state, but only one team will emerge victorious here at Raider Field, coming up on Cox Cable 8. Good evening and welcome to Raider Field as Cox Cable 8 goes on the road to Alachua in order to give you, the fans, exclusive coverage of the game of the week between the Buchholz Bobcats and the Santa Fe Raiders. Hello everybody, I'm Mike Morgan along with Marcus Overstreet. Well, both these teams come in rich in tradition, each grabbing a state title in the 90s. This game will be no different as both squads come in highly ranked. The Santa Fe Raiders carry a number 8 ranking in the state into tonight's game, but Mark, they didn't look very impressive last week.
No, they didn't, Mike. The Santa Fe offense committed 7 turnovers in a shocking loss to Newberry. I think Coach John Carter is going to rely on his defense in the early part of the season. 3 guys need to step up for the Santa Fe Raider D. First of all, linebacker Xavier Robinson. He led the team in tackles last season. Also, defensive tackle Chuck Welch. He needs to help stop that Buchholz running attack. And lastly, the most fastest player on this Santa Fe Raider team, Josh Haywood. He needs to keep a close eye on Buchholz wideout R.J. Anderson and cover him most of the night in order to be successful.
Indeed, that will be a matchup to look for, but even if the Raiders do shut down the Bobcat aerial attack, they'll have to contend with a very talented backfield, a backfield which saw 2 rushers, Vontrell Mitchell and Ricky Rembert, both rushed for over 100 yards in a win against Eastside last week. And Mark, we already see the fans pouring in here at Raider Field. This is not a very easy site for a road team to come in and pick up a W.
No, it's not, Mike. Of course, this game was originally scheduled to be played at Citizens Field, but now we're here at Raider Field. The Raider fans are very enthusiastic and they show a lot of support for their team. It's definitely a tough task for Buchholz and something they're going to have to contend with.
And we will see if they can contend with it when we come back right here on Cox Cable 8 with the game of the week. Today's game of the week between Buchholz and Eastside is brought to you by A-Accident Attorney Stephen A. Bagan and Associates, Acura of Gainesville, Advanced Cars Stereo Plus, Family Pool and Spa Centers, and Jones Automotive.
If someone injures you in a traffic accident, you need the professional advice of an attorney to answer your questions and to help you receive the compensation you deserve. If you suffer injuries in a car accident, who will pay your medical bills? Lost wages? How can you collect for pain and suffering? If you've been injured in an automobile accident, call attorney Stephen A. Bagan for a free consultation concerning your legal rights.
Advanced Car Stereo does it again with acoustic power logic components, detachable face tape players, multi-channel crossovers, and great low-cost amps. Acoustic, affordable high fidelity for your car. Advanced Car Stereo behind the Main Street Publix. Advanced Car Stereo does it again with Clarion Pro Audio removable face tape decks and CD players, and the new Clarion Pro Audio computer equalizer, all with 2-year warranties. Clarion for outstanding performance on the road. Advanced Car Stereo behind the Main Street Publix.
And here we are at Raider Field. Buchholz has won the toss. They will elect to receive. Vontrell Mitchell is the deep back. Santa Fe will kick it off from the 40-yard line. We get ready for a fantastic matchup, the Buchholz Bobcats and the Santa Fe Raiders.
Mike, it's going to be interesting to see if the Buchholz Bobcats can get on the scoring column here early. Last year, they only scored 7 points against this Santa Fe Raider defense.
Well, it appears number 5, Taiwan Ford, will be kicking it off. We'll surely hear his name a lot more when the Raiders go on offense. But right now, Buchholz is set to receive. And they're getting the clock ready right now as we set it for 12 minutes here in the first quarter. There's the whistle, and we're ready to go ahead and kick it off. There's the kick. It's a pooch kick. Goes down the sideline, and one of the upbacks has trouble handling it. Slides out of bounds, and that's where they'll have it at about the 23-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Buchholz Bobcats. And there you see the starting lineups for Buchholz. Number 10, R.J. Anderson leads the receiving corps. Theo Cooper filling in for Niel Mingo at the Z spot. in order to help complement Anderson's abilities. Offensive line led by number 60, Shane Goslinga. He's a big one, and he will help open up holes for the main tailback, Vontrell Mitchell. So 1st and 10 from about the 23-yard line. And then the give is to Mitchell. He scoots for about, we'll call it 5. It'll be about 2nd down and 5 yards to go. Vontrell Mitchell, Mark, got it going early on. There you see the defensive line for the Santa Fe Raiders, led by number 70, Chuck Welch. And, of course, on the linebacking cord, it'll be number 43. That should be Xavier Robinson. He is the man as far as the Santa Fe defense is concerned. And they will need him to pick up some big plays in order to help stop a talented Buchholz offense, which will have a 2nd down here. The pitch is to Mitchell, wide right. He cuts the corner, breaks it up, and goes down at about the 34-yard line. Number 4, Gerard Dunbar in on the stop. And already, Mark, Buchholz has made a statement. They're going to try to get Vontrell going here early on.
You're right, Mike. I saw a great block there by Jeff Carter, number 31, at the fullback position. Of course, he's filling in for Ricky Rembert, who has a jammed thumb. Jeff Carter, great block there on number 40, Chris O'Neill of the Santa Fe Raiders. Opening up things for Vontrell Mitchell.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Buchholz Bobcats. At about the 34-yard line, the give again is to Mitchell, wide left, cuts the corner, and has got some daylight before being dragged down on the play. Again, number 6, Zach Wilson on the stop. Grabbed the shirt tail of Vontrell in order to stop that play from going any further, but once again, it looks like they're going Mitchell wide left, wide right so far early on.
Well, no signs of Mitchell's pulled calf muscle that he sustained last week. He seems like he's right on the money with his runs. He's hitting the corners well, and he's getting some good blocks by Jeff Carter, as we said earlier. Good job by the offensive line. Looks like Buchholz is very close to a 1st down here.
Well, they'll bring out the chain gang and measure it up here. Doug Johnson near the sideline getting in the play from head coach George Dean. Dean's Bobcats picking up a big win against Eastside last week. After losing a tough one in the Kickoff Classic, but again, that was an exhibition game, so Buchholz comes in 1-0, looking to pick up against a big win against highly ranked Santa Fe. And it is indeed a 1st down from the 44-yard line. Just over 10 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter. Number 10, R.J. Anderson, is lined up wide right, I formation. The give is to Mitchell on the counter. He's stopped. Give him about 1 yard. It'll be 2nd down and 9. So 3 plays, 3 gives to Vontrell Mitchell here so far, Mark.
Well, it's no secret what Buchholz is going to do against this Santa Fe Raider defense. They're going to make them prove that they can stop Vontrell Mitchell in this running game of Buchholz. Then, once again, Mike, can't concentrate too much on the run because Buchholz does have R.J. Anderson. I'm looking for him to have a big game. He only had 2 receptions last week. Buchholz can go to the passing game if the running game doesn't work.
Anderson is lined up wide right. Number 7, George White, with the one-on-one coverage. And there they go to Anderson. White slips, falls down. Anderson makes a move, cuts out over the 40 before White drags him down. And already they got the 2 main men in the offense going, Vontrell Mitchell and R.J. Anderson. That'll set up a 3rd down and short. And the only man we haven't heard so far from is the Buchholz secret weapon mark, Brad McCants. We look for him to have another big game.
Mike, he's been lining up Brad McCants. He's been sneaking into that offense at that tight end position. And every time we've seen him in all the games we've done this year, he's been wide open. Let's see if Santa Fe coach John Carter did his homework.
Well, McCants not in right now. It's R.J. Anderson along with number 20, Theo Cooper, lined up wide right. And Johnson tries the quarterback sneak, which was tremendously successful last week against Eastside, Mark. And they really used the surge on that interior offensive line, taking advantage of the Eastside defensive line. That's a play that's really worked for him so far early in the year.
Mike, like we've said, that play by Doug Johnson just sneaking over the offensive line, it gains him a good 3 or 4 yards every time. It's safe. There's not much of a chance for a turnover, not a chance for a fumble or anything like that. So it's a good play for Buchholz, and it's working for him so far this season.
And it was good enough for a 1st down and 10 from the 45 of Santa Fe. Johnson gives it to Mitchell on the end around right. Mitchell's got some room, and he goes out of bounds at just before the 20-yard line. Call it the 23-yard line. Interesting play there by George Dean. Kind of a mini end around as Mitchell countered left and then took the handoff, snuck wide right. And again, so far, Vontrell Mitchell is beating the Santa Fe defenders to the outside.
Yeah, he's getting to the outside there, Mike. He's getting some good blocks by Shane Gosling and those guys that are on the right side of that offensive line. There you see Vontrell Mitchell already doing some damage in this game. Last week, 110 yards in only 1/2 versus Eastside.
Another first down. The give this time is to Rembrandt. He goes on the other corner, wide left, and picks up about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 5. And Ricky Rembrandt came in with an injured thumb, but didn't take him long to get his first carry of the ball game.
No, he's stepping in now for Jeff Carter. We knew that Ricky Rembrandt was going to come into the game eventually, and he did such a great job filling in for Vontrell Mitchell in last week's game. He gained 115 yards, I believe, and scored the touchdown that won the game for Buchholz and put that game away.
Well, very impressive drive so far for the Buchholz Bobcats. They now have a 2nd and 5 from the 19. Just under 7.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And the give is to the up back. And it looked like perhaps we had a fumble. And it is a fumble, and Santa Fe recovers the ball. A big break for the Santa Fe Raiders as they recover the fumble at about the 15-yard line, halting an impressive Buchholz drive.
That's right, Jeff Carter was in there. Maybe he's not used to handling that ball. Of course, he's filling in for Ricky Rembrandt. He's been doing a great job on the blocks. Right there, he just got it. Let that ball loose, and Santa Fe got that turnover. Of course, Santa Fe had 7 turnovers of their own last week, costing them a game against Newberry, so a good break for Santa Fe.
Well, the Raiders won't waste any time to try to capitalize. They give it off, and we have a penalty flag. The give was to number 9, Adrian Peterson. And if that name sounds familiar, he's the younger brother of Gator Mike Peterson, Marcus, and he's only a sophomore. 5'10", 185 pounds. And there we take a look at the Santa Fe offensive line, and boy, are they loaded, led by number 54, Zach Sedalis. They lost Doug Forrester, but Sedalis looks to help fill in there. And at the running back spot, they lost Caloris Johnson, but Tywan Ford looks to be the man there, along with Tony Mason and the man you just saw, Adrian Peterson. It'll be a 1st down and 5. The penalty was on Buchholz, an offsides call. So it'll be 1st and 5 from the 16, well, no, we'll call it the 21-yard line. Another handoff up the middle, and another fumble, and it appears as if Buchholz might have it. They do. The Buchholz Bobcats tick for tack, each team taking turns on the fumble, and we're right back where we started at the Santa Fe 23-yard line, as the Buchholz Bobcats will not try to continue that drive, Mark.
Mike, before we could even put up the defensive stars for Buchholz, a turnover by Santa Fe, not what Coach John Carter wants to see. As we mentioned, 7 turnovers and an upset loss to Newberry last week. Not a good sign for this Santa Fe team. They got a break, and now they give the ball right back to Buchholz in scoring position. Let's see how this Raider defense handles the Buchholz offense in the red zone.
And 6 of those turnovers, Mark, were fumbles last week for the Bobcats. Johnson's back to pass. He hits Anderson, and he's down at about the 1-yard line, just short of a score. There's the combo we've been waiting for. Doug Johnson to R.J. Anderson. Anderson already his 2nd pass as he looks to continue to pick on cornerback George White. Just a matter of time. Anderson goes 6'3", George White 6'1", so he's going to try to make use of that height advantage, which he has almost over every cornerback. So it'll be 1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Johnson under center. The backs are Vontrell Mitchell and number 37, Ricky Rembrandt. Johnson sneaks it himself. Penalty flags are on the play. It looked like he crossed the plane, but it might be all irrelevant. It is. It'll be a false start on the Bobcats.
Didn't get the number who jumped off sides there, Mike, but it looked like the left side of that Buchholz offensive line might have jumped a little early.
Well, we talked about the problems last week, Mark, for the Santa Fe Raiders. They had fumbles and turnovers. For the Bobcats last week, despite a win, they had 16 penalties. So certainly they'll try to diminish those this week if they hope to be victorious here tonight.
First down, 20 yards to go, and we have our first break in the action.
Of course, Mike, there we saw when we got the starting lineups, Theo Cooper filling in for Niel Mingo. Talked to Coach George Dean, the Buchholz head coach, and he says a lot of these guys are equal in talent. It's just like they're fighting for a job every week, and you're going to see some of these skill positions, these spots go up for be up for grabs for the rest of the season, and a little healthy competition is good for your team.
Competition, nothing wrong, but there are 3 people that I don't think will be subbed in and out too much. Doug Johnson, Vontrell Mitchell, and R.J. Anderson. They are the catalysts of a talented Buchholz Bobcat offense, and already they've done what they've had to do to produce a successful drive, which started back at around the 20-yard line of Buchholz, and they made it all the way to Santa Fe's 20 before fumbling. Now they've got it back in a 1st and goal from about the 5-yard line. Johnson under center. Play action pass. They faked it to Mitchell. Johnson on the keeper. He goes down, picks up about a yard. It'll be 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. Just under 5.5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And I understand Jason Alpert has some words for us down in the field. Let's go to him. Jason.
Thanks a lot, guys. I talked to Buchholz coach George Dean before the game, and I asked him how he was going to get his star receiver R.J. Anderson back into the game after last week he only had a couple receptions. He said that if Santa Fe is going to double team R.J. the whole game like Eastside did last week, he's happy to run the ball down their throat. Obviously, Santa Fe is not double team him. He's had a couple great catches so far this game, and maybe he'll have more the rest of the game. Back up to you guys.
Okay, well, another penalty flag on Buchholz, another false start, and Mark shades of last week. The offense, very talented, but making a lot of miscues.
Yes, they did, Mike. I believe we even had a center leave early for Buchholz last week. Illegal procedures, delay of games. Not what Coach Offensive Coordinator Bob Smith wants to see from his Buchholz offense. Of course, good sign, R.J. Anderson, already 2 catches. That equals last week's total.
Well, they went from a 1st and goal from the 1 to a 2nd and goal from the 9. Penalties early on. The difference, and there's a touchdown for R.J. Anderson. Doug Johnson hits him on a simple in route, and already R.J. Anderson, 3 catches, a score. He is making his presence known early on, Mark.
Like we said in the opening, I believe Santa Fe needs to have Josh Haywood come over there and cheat a little bit, get some double teaming going on R.J. Anderson. You just can't cover him one-on-one. He's 6'3". He's going to catch the ball over your head.
Would it be any surprise if there wasn't a flag on the extra point, Mark? We had plenty of those last week with Buchholz. And yes, again, it's another false start. You know, they have a very talented offensive line, but sooner or later, these penalties are going to come, and like you said, they're going to bite them.
That's right, Mike. You're exactly right. Buchholz having a lot of trouble with these illegal procedure penalties and false starts. Let's see if they can correct that throughout this game.
Well, they'll re-kick it now. It becomes a 25-yard extra point. And hey, guess what? Let's go one more time with the Yellow Hankies. I'm going to take a wild guess, Mark, and say that this is a false start against the Buchholz Bobcats. Well, hey, I don't mean to sound prophetic, but I'm right. And we'll kick this, well, we'll go from the 20 now. It'll be a 30-yarder. Who knows, by the time we finish this extra point, Brad McCants might have a chance to beat Tom Dempsey's long field goal record of 63 yards. McCants getting ready to kick the extra point. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And what now becomes more of a field goal, 30 yards. The offensive line will try to get the snap count correct. They do. The kick is up, and it is no good. Wide left. McCants had plenty of leg on it. So the penalties already costing the Buchholz Bobcats a point, as they have a 6-0 lead with just under 5 minutes to go in the first quarter, and they'll kick off to Santa Fe.
Not a good series of plays there for Buchholz. They got the momentum with the R.J. Anderson touchdown, and they come right back with 3 straight penalties on that offensive line. They only score 6 points. You like to get that extra point on the board because that can come back and bite you, Mike.
Well, the Bobcats, really 2 drives in 1 if you discount that fumble. But move the ball very productively against the talented Santa Fe defense. As we get ready to kick it off.
Of course, Buchholz has already equaled their total that they scored on the Santa Fe Raiders last year. Actually, with the extra point they would have. Last year they only scored 7 points on this Santa Fe defense. They have 6 on the board already with R.J. Anderson.
Oh, a long delay here in the kickoff.
But we're used to that sort of thing.
Yeah, we certainly are after last week's game. There McCants is with the kick, and it's returned by number 7, George White, who goes down at about the 26. Tripped up on the play by a couple of Buchholz Bobcats. They'll have 1st and 10 at, we'll call it the 27-yard line.
Good coverage there by the Buchholz special teams. Of course, they were burned 3 or 4 times last week against the East Side Rams. There you saw Kendrick Williams down there on the coverage, as well as Greg Rushing making some good tackles for that Buchholz special teams.
And the quarterback, Freddie Lucas, just a sophomore, filling in for the loss of Mike Peterson. He looks to snap it from center. And right away, they'll try to go to the ground, as number 12, Tonio Mazon on the carry, a 5'6", 150-pound junior. He'll pick up a good 11 or 12 yards, and good enough for a Santa Fe 1st down. So far, both offenses getting in on the early going. As we can hear, the band is stirring it up there. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. Taiwan Ford in motion. The give is to number 9, Adrian Peterson. 5'10", 185 sophomore, and as we mentioned before, Mark, the brother of a current Gator, Mike Peterson. Santa Fe goes with a 2-back set. Taiwan Ford and Xavier Robinson is the fullback, in addition to being the defensive star for the Raiders. They run Adrian Peterson and Tonio Mazon in the slot. And another rush for Santa Fe. It is again Adrian Peterson. So Santa Fe, which runs a run and shoot offense, Mike, they're not they're not shy about putting the ball up in the air, but already trying to establish the run game.
Yeah, they're trying to establish a run game against this Buchholz defense. A lot of changes in the Buchholz defensive linemen. Of course, we have Arkeel Stark now starting at the sandbacker. That's a position along the line. It's what they call for their defensive end. Also, Jason Smith at the bandit back. And McCants is over there at the rover now. And Chris Johnson stepping in at cornerback for James Littles.
Boy, Arkeel Stark has really come up big in the 2 games we've seen him. Santa Fe runs it again, and it'll be a 1st down for Tonio Mazon as he gets past midfield out to about the 47-yard line. Well, Santa Fe will have a 1st down. 2.5 minutes to go here in the 1st quarter on a windy night here at Raider Field. It's kind of cooled off a bit, Mark. Kind of a quaint, peaceful night so far.
It's very nice. One thing about the runs here by Santa Fe, not looking good for Buchholz, because many of their guys in their secondary are having to come up with tackles rather than the linebackers and the defensive linemen.
Ward is in motion. They give it to Taiwan Ford. Breaks a tackle, and he's going to go. 30, 20, cuts back at the 15, 10, 5, touchdown, Taiwan Ford.
Great cut by Taiwan Ford there at the 10-yard line. Avoided the tackle, went on to score. He went right around Derek Harris, who's now hurt on the play. It's a sign of a great running back. He had great vision there. He went down to the 10-yard line. Looked like he was going to get stopped. Made the cut to the right and scored 6 points for the Santa Fe Raiders.
It's a 47-yard scoot for Taiwan Ford, the 5'11", 185-pound senior. He looks to lead the way offensively on the ground and made his presence known. We have a low snap here on the kickoff. The holder is going to try to run it in. He does! Number 1, Jackie Osborne, took the low snap, ran it to the right-hand side, and managed to hit the pylon there in the corner of the end zone. So it's been exciting on both extra points, but the difference is Santa Fe converts on theirs, and that's the difference. They have a 7-6 lead with just under 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Make that 8-6. Now they're going to give them 2. Count that as a 2-point conversion for the Santa Fe Raiders, although it was an extra point attempt.
Both teams making mistakes on their extra points, but fortunately for Santa Fe, they were able to get the 2-point conversion while Buchholz came away with nothing.
Well, I'm sure Jackie Osborne will tell you they had that planned from moment one. Take the low snap and go ahead and run to the corner. Well, we got Ivan Gatewood live on the field. Ivan, take it away.
Well, maybe we don't have Ivan.
Well, Ivan is on the field, but he's a little camera shy right now. Well, he's gotten over the butterflies. Let's go ahead and... I tell you what, let's not go to Ivan. He's still trying to get things going there. We're going to wait till after the kickoff for Ivan to speak.
We'll give him a little more time to think about what he wants to say down there.
He does his best work after kickoffs, Mark. And there's another pooch kick picked up by number 36, Brian Dragutsky. And he is nailed at about the 31-yard line. Now let's go down. Ivan Gatewood there on the field. Ivan, what do you have to tell us?
Thanks, Mike. Well, thanks, Mike. There you see the good and the bad of the Santa Fe running game. First of all, first possession, they get a fumble. They had 6 fumbles last week and 1 interception. This week, they get their second possession. They get 7 points on the board, and Coach Carter is pumped. Back to you.
Well, we told you he was a little camera shy, but I'm sure he'll get back to normal in just a few moments. Ivan bringing up a good point, Mark. The Buchholz Bobcats will have to rectify these errors if they hope to win tonight's game and also in the future in order to be successful this season. Well, we have a reverse play to Vontrell Mitchell. He's got a big hole. He's got a block ahead of him, and outside, out of bounds at about the 49-yard line of Santa Fe. Vontrell Mitchell taking the reverse from number 37, Ricky Rembert, and already Vontrell with a big game. Of course, he had 100 yards in last week's game against Eastside. That was in the first half, Mark.
Once again, you see the speed of that Buchholz backfield. First the give to Ricky Rembert, who has 4.445 speed. Gives it over to Vontrell Mitchell, who just turns on the jets. Hits that left side, that corner there, and he picks up about 30 yards on the play. 25 yards on the play.
Well, Mitchell goes out of bounds for a breather. Anderson and number 2, Niel Mingo, is back in the game. And they give it to Rembert wide right. He'll try to cut the corner, but a host of Santa Fe defenders are there, led by number 43. That's the man, and Xavier Robinson. Mark, I'm sure we're going to see his name called quite a few times tonight.
Good job by Xavier Robinson. The initial tackle by number 40, Chris O'Neill, was missed, and then Xavier came over there and cut Rembert off, wouldn't let him turn the corner there on that play.
A gain of about 1. There you see Xavier Robinson led the team in tackles last year, a 5'11", 225-pound senior linebacker. Johnson hits Niel Mingo, but it's all for naught. He picks up maybe a yard on the screen pass, or it'll bring up about a 3rd and 9. Mingo to not start tonight's game, but comes back in to catch the play there. It's important for guys like Mingo to go in there and take some of the pressure off R.J. Anderson. Of course, last week against Eastside, Anderson was double-teamed repeatedly. They kind of took him out of the game, but if they can get some guys to step up, Mark, that'll take some of the pressure off on Anderson.
You're right, Mike. I think that's exactly why George Dean has finagled his lineups a little bit at that other wide receiver spot to give R.J. Anderson, make the opponents respect him a little bit more.
Well, we have our first 3rd and long of the game. And that's the end of the first quarter. Santa Fe Raiders up 8-6 here at the end of the first quarter. And both teams getting ready for the start of the second.
Gainesville Acura prepping cars for our summer clearance sale. Hurry down, don't wait.
That's right. Get huge savings on new Acura Legends, 1% over cost. Huge savings on new Acura Vigors, also 1% over cost. And save hundreds on new Acura Integras. At the summer clearance sale going on now at Gainesville Acura.
At these clearance prices, you wash it.
She's a good girl. Her parents want her to be happy, marry a nice boy. She has a boyfriend. He has a good job. There's only one problem. He's not Jewish. What does she do? She hires a Jewish actor to play him. There's another problem. He's not Jewish either. Her parents are arriving in 15 minutes for dinner. What do? Find out when you see Beau Jest, a romantic comedy playing at the Hippodrome Theater now.
Hi, I'm Marilyn Nye. Please join us on Real Talk with Marilyn on Cox Cable, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 5.
Back third and long for the Buchholz Bobcats. Doug Johnson back, scrambles before he is sacked by number 78, Corey Dawson. Dawson with the stick for a big loss on the play. As Santa Fe was all over Doug Johnson, he had no time to pass. And that'll bring up a punting situation for the Bobcats. We'll see our first look at the punter, Brad McCants. McCants, who is in on that last play. He's their third down specialist. Also punts, he kicks. This guy does everything.
Third down specialist, kind of a big version of Dave Meggett of the New York Giants, when you say.
Probably not as quick as Dave Meggett, but
No.
we'll take that. And that kick is way out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it. The officials mark it at about, they're going to give it at the, they're going to give it at the 22-yard line. And that's where Santa Fe will set up 1st and 10 as we get the second quarter underway. The Raiders are up 8-6. The difference in this game, the extra points. Buchholz missed theirs. Santa Fe had a low snap and then wound up running it in. They gave him 2 points on that, so they have the 2-point lead right now, as you see Coach George Dean. 1st and 10 for the Santa Fe Raiders. Freddie Lucas and company goes to work. The give is to the up back, number 8, and Xavier Robinson. Make that number 9, Adrian Peterson, on the play.
Adrian Peterson on the carry.
Good block there by Zach Zadalis. We mentioned him earlier, a number 54 guard for Santa Fe. He just totally sealed off number 55, Randy Bryant of Buchholz. Pushed him to the right side there and opened up a hole for his running back.
Here you see Coach Dean talking things over with quarterback Doug Johnson. Johnson telling him, hey, Coach, I had no time to throw it on that last play. 2nd down and 9. A rollout. Throws it, and it's picked off by Derek Harris, number 6. Makes a cut at the 30 before being dragged down by number 71, Robert Wheeler. But there's a big play for the Buchholz Bobcats. They get their first turnover of the game, and they'll have good field position just inside the 30 of Santa Fe.
Lucas had Taiwan Ford out there, but Derek Harris read the play all the way. He had an interception last week against Eastside and Bubba Ennis. Great play there by Derek Harris, taking advantage of the inexperience of Freddie Lucas. He just looked at his eyes, and that ball was his.
Well, Johnson, who just was talking to George Dean, will go ahead and implement the plan, and not a better plan than giving it to Vontrell Mitchell, who drops the ball, but after hitting the ground, Mitchell scoots for about a gain of 5. It'll bring up 2nd and 5, just under 10 minutes to go here in the second quarter.
Be interesting to see, Mike, here. If there you see Derek Harris, he has to be happy. Another interception for him. A quick start this season, 2 interceptions in 2 games. But like I was saying, Mike, it'll be interesting to see if this Buchholz Bobcat offensive line can stay away from the mistakes here down in the red zone.
2nd down and 5. The give is again to Mitchell. He gets a block by Rembert, but number 40, Chris O'Neill, was there, preventing a gain for Vontrell Mitchell.
Stop playing by number 40, Chris O'Neill.
He'll lose about 3 yards on the play, bringing up a 3rd down and 8.
And another passing situation for Buchholz.
Here you see Chris O'Neill. He's been getting some good penetration. He's been in that Buchholz backfield all night. He missed the tackle earlier. Right there, he was on top of the ball carrier from the get-go.
Well, R.J. Anderson and Theo Cooper lined up wide right. On a 3rd down and about 7 yards to go. Fake to Mitchell. Johnson back to pass. Has a wide open Ricky Rembert out of the backfield, but a little bit too high. Again, the number 40, Chris O'Neill, was on the coverage. And we'll see what Coach Dean elects to do here. The ball is on the 25-yard line. That would make it about a 42-yard kick. And that's exactly what George Dean is going to think about here as he calls a timeout on 4th and 7. Mark, what do you do here? Brad McCants has a pretty good leg, but I'm not sure if he's got that good a leg. Well, enough about legs. A guy who's...
We'll have to see what they're going to do about that, Mike. Pretty sure Buchholz will go for it on 4th down.
And a reminder to watch Cox Cable 8 Sports next Saturday as the defending 3A state champion Bulldogs come here to Alachua to take on the Santa Fe Raiders in a rematch of last year's state semifinal matchup September 17th at 7:30 p.m. and Monday, September 19th at 3 p.m. only on Cox Cable 8, your local sports leader. Well, Dean had time to talk it over, and they are going to elect to go for it, perhaps a little bit out of McCants' range. Doesn't really pay off to punt it from the 25. So 4th and 7, a big play right here. McCants, the secret weapon, wind up wide left. Johnson back to pass. He's pressured heavily. Scoots, runs to the left, throws it just before being tackled, and it's incomplete. Intended on the left side for...
I believe it was R.J. Anderson down there.
R.J. Anderson, thank you, Mark. And so Santa Fe will take over 1st down and 10. And before Santa Fe takes over 1st and 10, let's go down to the field for Jason Alpert. Jason.
Hey, Mike and Marcus, thanks a lot. We got a great game going here, and I'm sure one of the names that you've been calling a lot is Ricky Rembert. Ricky's one of the 2-star running backs for Buchholz. He hurt his hand in the game last week against Eastside. He jammed his thumb on a handoff, but he's back in the game, and as you saw, there was a pass that went to him last time. He's going to play the whole game. There's a little pain, but he should be all right. Back up to you guys. Thanks.
Well, Ricky Rembert, he's a gamer, much like our sideline reporter, Jason Alpert. It's going to take more than an injured thumb to keep those guys out of there.
Like we mentioned, Mike Buchholz has a deadly combo in that backfield. As well as Santa Fe, we've seen a lot from Taiwan Ford already. He has a lot of quickness. He also knows how to break some tackles, has great field vision for a running back.
2nd down and 8, Santa Fe, as Freddie Lucas lines up under center. And there's the give to number 9, Adrian Peterson. Picks up a big hold off the right tackle. And I believe he will have a 1st down for the Raiders. He does indeed. Heard Adrian Peterson a lot. Mark, I know Taiwan Ford is perhaps their best running back. He's been kind of quiet so far.
Well, there you see Adrian Peterson has a good shot here to back up Taiwan Ford. He's a weapon for these Santa Fe Raiders. Of course, he's the brother of Mike Peterson, wearing the same number, number 9. Doing a great job already in this game.
And this time they gave this to number 12, Tonio Mazon, who opens up, runs through a big hole. That'll be close to another 1st down as number 6, Derek Harris, in on the stop.
Also Brad McCants in on the tackle, but that's no surprise. We know Brad McCants has been all over the field, every game we've seen him.
And we've got another look at the chain gang as they'll take a run out to the field, we believe. There they go. It's been a long day for the chain gang so far. They measure it up. And it's another 1st down for Santa Fe as they'll try to continue this drive. Just over 7 minutes to go here in the 1st half. From the 47-yard line of Santa Fe. Number 12, Tonio Mazon, goes in motion, but quarterback Freddie Lucas keeps it, but he goes down. Brought down by number 46, Arkhill Stark. Arkhill Stark, a guy didn't start in the first game of the year, but he has really come on.
Yeah, against GHS in the kickoff classic, he returned a touchdown from an interception, and also he had a sack and one quarterback hurry against Eastside. Definitely stepping in at that defensive end and doing a great job.
Well, it'll be 3rd down and 8 for Santa Fe. Lucas on the keeper, and he gets tripped up. A spectacular tackle by number 6, Derek Harris. He did whatever he had to get pull down Lucas, and that'll be short of a 1st down. It'll bring up a 4th and about 2 yards to go. And again, it's decision time. Coach John Carter will see what he wants to do as the officials call timeout.
John Carter has done a great job here at Santa Fe over the years. He stepped right in. He's continued that dominance that the Raiders have had over here in Alachua. Great coach, and looking to take his team to the state playoffs once again.
I just saw lightning strike, Mark. We're already in the first half. What's your forecast for the weather tonight?
Well, I'm no Ivan Gatewood. As we saw at Gator Nationals, Ivan Gatewood was our weatherman. There you see John Carter, Santa Fe head coach. Great record in his 3 years. Good job by John Carter with his Santa Fe troops. Of course, he's reloaded this year with some talent. Lost Michael Peterson, but also lost Doug Forrester, but he has Zach Sedalis in there at the guard position, and some say that he's even better than Doug Forrester was, Mike.
Well, 3rd down and 8. They'll have it for Santa Fe. As Lucas goes under center, number 12, Tonio Maison again in motion. And there's the give again to Taiwan Ford, and he'll have a 1st down.
Once again, Mike, it looks like the secondary of Buchholz is having to make all the tackles on the running backs. Not a good sign. These linemen for Buchholz on the defense and also the linebackers need to come up and make these stops on the runs.
Well, you know, the offensive line for Santa Fe, you mentioned they lost Doug Forrester, Mark. They are just huge, led by Zach Sedalis. I don't have the exact measurements here, but they've got quite a few guys between the 240 up to 280 pounds. That's Zach Sedalis, 280. As the give is again to Taiwan Ford. He's close to another 1st down for Santa Fe. Number 25, Jason Smith, in on the stop. We mentioned Taiwan Ford, and there's a look at the senior running back. 6'3", 175 pounds, had over 1,500 total offensive yards last year, and that's with one of the best rushers in the state on the same squad, Corrales Johnson, last year. Under 5 minutes to go here in the 1st half. It's 2nd down and 2. The give is to Peterson, and he is stopped short. Arkhill Stark, just after we mentioned his name not too long ago, trips him up for a loss. It'll bring up a 3rd down and about 5 yards for Santa Fe. How could they not start this guy in the opening game, Mark?
Well, the opening game, they had Jeff Carter over there as Sambacker. He's done a great job for this Buchholz defense ever since he's played here. But now Jeff Carter stepping in at fullback with Ricky Rembert with a banged-up thumb. Jeff Carter's going to be backing up all those linebacker positions for the Buchholz Bobcat defense tonight. So Arkhill Stark doing a great job from that defensive end position.
3rd down and 5. It's another run, and Brad McCants stuffed that one. Stuffed Adrian Peterson. That'll be short of a 1st down. It'll bring another 4th down. Should be out of field goal range, so my guess here is John Carter will go ahead and go for the 1st down. It'll be 4th down, a long 1 to go. Santa Fe will go ahead and try to convert on their second 4th down conversion. As you see Coach John Carter, he didn't have to think long about that one. Peterson is the deep back, but instead they give it on the end around to number 5, Taiwan Ford. He has a 1st down. Actually, he's still on his feet, and he's going to have a touchdown. Unbelievable. Noble. He faked me out on that one, Mark. I thought he was down for the count. Gets back up, and on a 4th and a long one, Taiwan Ford has a 30-yard touchdown.
Mike, as we mentioned, Taiwan Ford so quick. Of course, I was watching that play all the way. I didn't count him out. Jason Smith, number 25 for Buchholz, had him wrapped up seemingly at the 15-yard line. Broke loose, took it to the inside. Great touchdown run there for Taiwan Ford. Santa Fe up early.
Another low snap, but the kick is up and good. And Santa Fe has a 15-6 lift with 3:09 to go here in the first half of play. Boy, a spectacular run by Taiwan Ford. We'll be back right after this.
Beat the heat with an AC tune-up at Jones Automotive on 6th Street. Hello, I'm Larry Jones, and for only $9.95 plus pre-on, we'll...
And welcome back to Raider Field. Santa Fe up 15-6 here. Mark, it's been pretty exciting early on. Exactly. Taiwan Ford, 5 rushes for 92 yards, highlighted by that 47-yard touchdown there. He also had a, actually that was a 30-yard touchdown there. He also had a 47-yard scoot. 77 yards combined on those 2 runs alone. He looks like he's well on his way to 100 yards rushing.
Taiwan Ford, he's in a similar situation to what Vontrell Mitchell went through last year. Vontrell Mitchell played behind DeMond Wimberly. He was the second tailback, and now Taiwan Ford steps in for Cloris Johnson.
Well, there's your man, Mark. Leon Payne running out to about the 30-yard line on the kickoff.
We're going to talk about how much he bench presses again, Mike? Or
no, I think we pretty much
again?
beat that one to death, Mark, but I know he is one of your favorites, and I know you're excited to see him return that, all 5 yards of it.
Great candidate for body shape, if you ever watched that on ESPN. 330 pounds this man bench presses.
Mark, you really ought to find something better to do with your free time. 1st and 10 for the Buchholz Bobcats. The pitch is wide left to Vontrell Mitchell. He picks up about 4 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd down and 6. So far, Mark, no question the story has been both rushers, Taiwan Ford and Vontrell Mitchell, have gotten the ground game going for both squads.
Well, Santa Fe, of course, had a lot of problems. They have an inexperienced quarterback in Freddie Lucas. They got to go to their running game. And Buchholz, they're going with Vontrell Mitchell. He did a good job last week for him.
Well, a 2nd down and about 7 yards to go. Again, they give us to Mitchell on the left-hand side. He'll pick up 3 more. It'll be 3rd and short for the Buchholz Bobcats. Ivan Gatewood's down on the sideline. Ivan.
We're in that tackle in the last play. No, that's not Cloris Johnson. That's a...
Doug Johnson hadn't had much time to throw yet, Mike. Let's see if his offensive line can protect him right here.
The ball is spotted at the 36-yard line of Buchholz as we're just under 2 minutes to go here in the first half of play. Vontrell Mitchell is the deep back. They give it to him to the right-hand side, and he's going to be close, Mark. It'll depend on the spot there. He got tripped up early and leaned forward, but no indication yet by the boys in black and white. And already the rain comes down, so Ivan Gatewood not too pure on that forecast.
Well, you know, he's gonna get rained on now. I envy him.
It's coming down heavy. I'm glad we're here in the booth, Mark. Meanwhile, on a 4th and short, they tried the quarterback sneak. Johnson should have it on the forward progress before they drag him back a few yards back, and indeed he does have the 1st down, just out past the 40-yard line. It's coming down hard now, Mark.
Whew. I'm glad we are not on the field right now, Mike, because this is a cold rain, we're told, that's coming down. And it's going to turn into a sloppy field real soon. You see all the fans are heading for the exits. I hope they come back. It should be an exciting game.
Well, no one would accuse this booth of being a condo on the beach, Mark, but all things considered, I'd rather be here than anywhere else on the field, as the Buchholz Bobcats call a timeout with 59 seconds to go here in the first half. Santa Fe leads at 15-6. and a torrential downpour here early on. Mark, this has to favor Santa Fe right now. They have a 9-point lead, and situations like this usually favor the defense.
You're right, Mike. Santa Fe does have a good defense led by number 43, Xavier Robinson, as well as Chuck Welch at defensive tackle. Buchholz has done a good job with their running game so far, so both of the running games of both of these teams are very good, so it could go either way, Mike.
Well, both Taiwan Ford and Vontrell Mitchell have got it going early. Vontrell Mitchell will try to continue to pick up some yardage as the Bobcats trying to get one more score before the end of the first half. 59 seconds to go, 1st and 10 from the 40-yard line. Johnson back to pass. 51 is right in his face. He avoids the tackle, then goes deep to Anderson. Incomplete. A spectacular hit by number 7, George White, but there's a flag on the play, and I get the feeling that might be on the Santa Fe secondary, Mark.
I think he came in a little early. He took the legs out from under R.J. Anderson. Actually, I believe that was number 2, Trell James, on the lick there on R.J. Anderson. I think the referees have called some kind of pass interference on this play.
Well, you mentioned James. He's pleading his case to the officials right now, and that's usually a sign of absolute guilt. Indeed it is, and it's a pass interference on Santa Fe, and a big play. That'll be 1st and 10 now, as Buchholz goes down 15 yards. High school rules, 15 yards on a pass interference, not the spot of the foul, so it won't be as good as field position as they would have liked. But nonetheless, it'll be a 1st and 10 from the Santa Fe 45-yard line with 50 seconds to go here in the first half as the rains come down. Johnson again back to pass, again fighting off tremendous pressure, has a wide open Rembert, but broken up on the play by number 3, Josh Haywood. Haywood saved a big play from Rembert, who again coming out of the flat. You know, we mentioned earlier, Mark, that's usually the kind of play we see Brad McCants on. Tonight, George Dean mixing it up a little bit, sending Ricky Rembert out of the backfield.
Ricky Rembert can do a lot of things for you from that fullback position. Last week he could show that he could step in and also play tailback there. You see he's trying to catch some passes out of the backfield. He's an all-around back, and he would start for many other teams at that tailback position.
2nd down and 10. Doug Johnson back to pass, and he's going to go. No, he avoids the tackle, rolls out right, hits Anderson, who smartly comes back to the ball, and he goes out of bounds at about the Buchholz 30-yard line. And I'll tell you what, number 31, Joe Miller, has just got to be shaking his head. He had Doug Johnson with 2 hands. Johnson managed to avoid the tackle, roll out right before hitting an open R.J. Anderson.
Yeah, Stephen Boggs also has been in there on the play. 2 times he's been in there to get Doug Johnson, and Johnson's escaped the tackle. Also a good route run by R.J. Anderson. He broke his route, came back to the quarterback. That's the sign of a very good receiver, Mike.
A wise move by R.J. Anderson. A lot of guys would have just broke it deep. Johnson is back to pass again. Again, tremendous pressure, and he throws it away. Has 3 or 4 up, and there's the penalty flag, and that's probably going to be intentional grounding. The closest receiver was number 20, Theo Cooper, but he was about 20 yards downfield. So indeed, that'll be the call. Loss of down, and they'll spot the ball where Johnson threw it away. And Mark, the offensive line controlled the line of scrimmage for Vontrell Mitchell, but it seems like every time they snap the ball now, a host of Santa Fe defenders are right in Doug Johnson's face.
The speed of the Santa Fe linebackers and defensive line has been very good. They're getting around number 60 of Buchholz, Shane Gosling, and also number 63, Brian McGinnis. Those guys are not holding the line very well right now, and Doug Johnson's getting a lot of pressure on.
Well, Doug Johnson, I've never seen him scramble this well, but I think if you asked him, he'd rather not show off those abilities. He'd rather stay in the pocket. 11 seconds to go here in the first half. It's 2nd down for the Buchholz Bobcats. Johnson again back to pass. He's looking deep. He's looking deep, but he's going to be sacked by number 71, Robert Wheeler, the junior. 6'4", 180 pounds. And again, you might call that one a coverage sack because Johnson had a little more time there, but Santa Fe was ready for it. They knew Buchholz would try to go deep. Up, but we have a penalty flag. And it's going to be a holding call on the Santa Fe Raiders. So hold the presses on this one. We still got 1 second to go in the first half. And we'll probably move this one ahead 5 or 10 yards, and not enough for field goal range, but still enough for Buchholz to try to throw one last Hail Mary here to close out the first half. 1 tick left here in an exciting first half, and first half that's gone rather quickly.
Mike, the best way to get a coverage sack, I guess, is if you hold the receivers, and that's what the Santa Fe Raiders did right there. Doug Johnson couldn't find anyone open, got sacked on the play, but there was a holding call there on the Santa Fe secondary.
Usually doesn't hurt to hold the wide receivers in order to make the secondary look a little bit better. Well, R.J. Anderson is lined up wide left along with number 20 Theo Cooper wide right, but I gotta tell you, they've got double coverage already on Anderson. 2 guys. Johnson rolls out and tries a screen of Vontrell Mitchell, who drops it, and that'll close out the first half. The Santa Fe Raiders leading the Buchholz Bobcats 15-6 here on the Cox Cable 8 Game of the Week.
Yeah, right there.
Out with the old, in with the new. Video Visions is doing it just for you. It's Video Visions, Florida's hottest music video show.
2 yards along with 2 touchdowns. Vontrell Mitchell has been also very impressive. He has 11 carries, 71 yards. And receiving-wise, R.J. Anderson, 4 receptions, 59 yards to go along with the lone Buchholz touch. Mark is just gathering all those thoughts right now as we get ready for the second half kickoff. Another flush left formation as the kick is fielded by number 5 Taiwan Ford at about the 5-yard line. He goes left, cuts back inside, and goes down at about the 24-yard line. A couple of tacklers there on the play, including number 22 Leon Payne, number 7 Curtis Perry assisting on the tackle. And there you see the PA plugging Cox Cable, bringing you the finest in local sports entertainment. And we've had a good one so far, despite the low score, just 15-6 here in the third quarter. We started underway. Freddie Lucas under center. Taiwan Ford in motion. Instead, they give it to Adrian Peterson. He is stuffed. A loss of a yard on the play. A host of Buchholz Bobcats defenders, including Shane Goslinga, the star offensive lineman, making his presence known on the defensive side of the ball. And before we go to second down, let's go down to the field with Jason Alpert. Jason?
Mike and Marcus, we'll have to see during the second half whether Buchholz has found the secret to success. What they do.
Jason Alpert. Again, we just can't control that kid's appetite. Eating in the middle of an interview, setting new standards for sideline reporting once again. Well, we've got a third down here now for Santa Fe. Third down and short from about the 33-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 2 when they line it up. For 21 of Santa Fe, Ronald Jones lined up wide left. Ford in motion. They give it to Ford. He goes around the right corner, gets a block, and he could be on his way before he goes down by number 60, Shane Goslinga at the 48. And let me tell you, that saved another long one from Taiwan Ford. If Goslinga doesn't bring him down, he's got 6.
Taiwan Ford has showed us a lot in this game. Mike already is piling up the yardage. Another first down for Santa Fe, and they're past the 50-yard line. Looks like they're on the way to another score.
That brings Taiwan Ford already over 100 yards for the game, and we're just under 10 minutes to go in the third quarter. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the Buchholz Bobcat 47-yard line. The give this time is to number 12, Tonio Mazon. Mazon going to the left-hand side. And there you take a look at number 54, the right tackle, Zach Zadelis. I believe I'm pronouncing that right. 6'3", 277 pound. He's filling in some pretty heavy shoes there left by Doug Forrester, who does his duties now at Auburn University, but Mark, just another peg and a talented offensive line.
Santa Fe continually puts some players at the Division I level, and I look for several other players from this team to go on to the next level.
Freddie Lucas runs the keeper for a gain of about 4 yards. Number 31, Jeff Carter on the play. We mentioned before he used to be the starting sandbacker before number 46, Ark Hill Stark, took his place, but still Carter trying to make an impact on the defensive side of the ball.
Carter's a very valuable member of this defense. Coach George Dean feels that he can fill in at almost any of those linebacker slash secondary spots. I guess kind of a hybrid there in the Buchholz defense. But Carter, he does a good job at all those spots and a valuable asset to that defense.
Third down, 6 yards to go. They give it to the upback, Adrian Peterson. He will be well short of a first down. It'll bring up a fourth down. And we could see a rare punt tonight. And no, it appears Santa Fe will, in fact, yes, they will punt it. Not exactly a mass substitution for a punting team, but this is high school football. Number 7, George White will be doing the punting duties. Of course, George Wendt already had his claim to fame on cheers. I don't think he would be much of a punter. And as Buchholz calls timeout, a reminder to watch Cox Cable 8 Sports next Saturday as the defending 3A state champion Jacksonville Bulldogs come here to Alachua to take on the Santa Fe Raiders in a rematch of last year's state semifinal matchup, September 17th at 7:30 p.m. and Monday, September 19th at 3 p.m. only on Cox Cable 8, your local sports leader. Should be another good game,
Mike. Well, of course, sorry about that, Mike. Of course, the Santa Fe had the lead in that game and let Bowles come sneak back up on them, and that prevented Santa Fe from going on to that championship game and having a chance at another state title. Jacksonville Bowles looks strong again under head coach Corky Rogers.
Well, we're obviously both excited about that game. Couldn't hold back from both plugging it severely. 4th and 4. And again, Santa Fe still punting. Derek Harris is the deep back. He's the lone deep back, so should be able to get a return, barring a great kick by George White. It's a high snap. He has to just get rid of it. And I don't think this will be returned as it goes down inside the 15, stops to about the 13-yard line where number 77, Casey Anderson, fields it. And Buchholz will have a 1st and 10. Still looking for the first score here in the third quarter. Our score is 15-6. Santa Fe leads with 7:41 remaining in the third quarter. Buchholz has been able to go to the ground with Vontrell Mitchell. They've been able to go through the air to R.J. Anderson, but yet again, they still trail by 9 points. The officials had everything ready there except one minor thing, the football. They've got it back now as we get set to go. 1st down and 10. Pitch is to Ricky Rembert. Rembert cuts it outside before being knocked out of bounds at about the 16-yard line.
Actually, Mike, that was Leon Payne on the carry there. Filling in for Ricky Rembert and Vontrell Mitchell. A lot of depth in that Buchholz backfield, Mike.
Leon Payne getting his first carry of.
2nd down and a short 2.
That'll bring up a 2nd down, 2 yards to go. Payne still in there, along with number 31, Jeff Carter. Johnson back to pass. There's R.J. Anderson. He catches the ball. He'll have a 1st down. Great reception. I even thought Terrell James might have hit him a little early there. I was looking for a penalty flag, but it doesn't matter because Anderson has his 4th catch of the ball game.
Well, it looks like Santa Fe is totally satisfied with letting R.J. Anderson catch these 7- or 8-yard routes. They just don't want to give up anything deep. Of course, Josh Haywood in there running the secondary. at that safety position. He needs to cheat over there and make sure that R.J. Anderson doesn't get behind these Santa Fe secondary men.
Number 20, Theo Cooper, enters the game for Vontrell Mitchell. Cooper lined up wide right along with R.J. Anderson. Johnson, though, pitches it to left. Leon Payne, and he gets a burst of speed out past the 30-yard line. It'll be second down and short for the Buchholz Bobcats. And Coach George Dean mixing it up here on the ground game, Mark.
Well, I don't believe any of these Buchholz running backs can be tired yet because they're doing a good job of rotating them in and out, getting fresh legs in there at the running back position, and it's paying off for him with that run by Leon Payne.
Second down and 5.
Second down and about 5 yards to go for Buchholz. Vontrell Mitchell is lined up wide left. Number 31, Jeff Carter, goes in motion wide right, but the give is to Payne, and he is tripped up just over the 35-yard line. Number 7, George White, got a handout. And Mark, if George White doesn't put that hand out, Leon Payne might still be running. He might be in the end zone by now.
Leon Payne getting some good blocks over there on that side by Shane Gosling as well as Jeff Carter. We see Jeff Carter now getting some time in at the fullback position. Of course, he's replacing the injured Ricky Rembert, who's still nursing that jam thumb. Of course, we'll see Rembert later in this game, I'm sure.
First down and 10. Again, the give is to Payne. Wide left. He's got some room there before being wrestled out of bounds by number 2, Terrell James.
Leon Payne again on the carry.
And we'll bring up a second down and about 5 yards to go, as the officials call timeout here. Leon Payne, of course, we've talked about his strength. Only 137 pounds, can bench press over 300 pounds. One of the, I think, the strongest man in his weight class in the state for that. But showing off his speed right here in the second quarter, Mark. Third quarter.
Mike, I like the way that Leon Payne hits the corners. He showed it from the left side and the right side. Has a burst of speed as soon as he hits the line of scrimmage, picks up 6 or 7 yards every time. And he's outrunning these Santa Fe defenders right now.
And a reminder, for the best in alternative videos, watch Ground Zero, Sundays at 10:30 and Thursdays at 10 o'clock p.m. See your favorites like the Lightning Seeds and the Spin Doctors on Ground Zero, your music alternative.
Mike, you better watch Ground Zero. You don't know what you're missing. Yeah, that's right.
That's what they say, and I certainly wouldn't want to miss the fine pieces of Lightning Seeds, one of my favorites. First down and 10. At about the 42-yard line for Buchholz. Again, the give is to Payne. Bounces out, hits it right, and finds room. Gets a first down before going down by number 55, Daryl Foreman. He also, Payne ran up the back of R.J. Anderson. But you got to do what you got to do. He still got the first down at about the 49-yard line. And Mark, right now, again, like we saw earlier in the first half, the Buchholz offensive line making some big holes for the Bobcat running game.
I think you can call this a Leon Payne drive. He's done all the work so far. Right then, he hid behind his offensive lineman, Matt Smith, and bounced out and got some more yards out of that play.
Well, this time they give it to the fullback, Jeff Carter. He's stuffed for perhaps a yard. Again, 55, Daryl Foreman on the stop. So the one time they go away from Payne, they don't get anything going. We'll bring up a second down and about 11. They'll call it a loss of 1 on the play. Payne's still in there. He's been effective, but I've got to wonder if there's anything wrong with Vontrell Mitchell. And again, it's a pitch right to Leon Payne. He gets about 2 yards before wrapped up by Corey Dawson of the Raiders. That'll bring up a third down, and we'll call it 9 yards to go. A passing situation for Buchholz.
What does that mean, Mike?
That means R.J. Anderson, Mark.
That's right. Look for R.J. Anderson. Maybe a little 10-yard route up and in. It's usually money, Mike.
Well, they do bring Vontrell Mitchell back into the ball game, and they're having trouble getting the offensive lineman down. They give it to Mitchell. It's a halfback option. Mitchell goes deep, and it is incomplete. intended for number 20, Theo Cooper, but everything was fine except Josh Haywood, the 5'11", 160-pound defensive back, was not fooled at all on that play. And we have, we have a penalty flag. It's the Buchholz Bobcats, and with the trick play comes an eligible man downfield on the play. So I'm sure Santa Fe will decline the penalty. That will bring up a 4th down in a definite punting situation, but we'll have to wait and see.
A good call there by Bob Smith, a little halfback pass by Vontrell Mitchell. I saw Mitchell warming up earlier today, and he was throwing some spirals to his offensive coordinator, Bob Smith. Just Josh Haywood for Santa Fe. He's an experienced player for that Santa Fe team. He's a senior, and he's got great speed, and he just broke on that ball, and he read it all the way and broke up the Buchholz opportunity for a touchdown.
So the Buchholz chicanery is all for naught, as it'll bring up a 4th and 9. They'll punt the ball from the 50-yard line. McCants with the kick, and it's a beauty. And he is sticked. The return man, I can't make out.
Arkhill Stark, Mike.
Number 9, Adrian Peterson, and Arkhill Stark levels him at about the 14-yard line.
Mike, we would have to say that Arkhill Stark has been our player of the year this year. But I think Ivan's got something for us down there. Let's send it on down to Ivan Gatewood on the sideline.
Thanks, guys. On Santa Fe's last offensive possession, you saw they were inside the Buchholz territory there, and a lot of players were unhappy with Coach Carter's decision to punt the ball away. But it seems like with a 9-point lead, that was the best decision to do, seeing as Buchholz just punted the ball back to them. Mike?
Thank you, Ivan. It'll be 1st and 10 for Santa Fe. From the 15-yard line, Lucas, the inside handoff. Appears to be Tony O'Mason on the play. It is indeed Tony O'Mason. Number 7, Curtis Perry, knocks him down for, appears to be about a gain of 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
2nd down and 8.
Just under 3 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter of play at Raider Field in Alachua. Taiwan Ford is in motion. They give it to him around the right-hand side. Breaks a couple of tackles, and he'll be close to a 1st down. Mark, again, Taiwan Ford has been able to bust tackles on virtually every play this game.
Yeah, Taiwan Ford, he's getting initially touched every time once he hits that offensive line, but it's that extra burst that he makes that's getting those extra 5 or 6 yards there. You saw that number 7, Curtis Perry, had a chance to get his hands on him, but Taiwan Ford once again broke the tackle and picked up those extra yards. Very important for Santa Fe there.
And there you see Taiwan Ford, 175 pounds, and the way he's breaking tackles tonight, you'd think he was a 220-pound fullback. 3rd down and 1. Lucas runs it over center, and he'll have the 1st down.
And Mike, you saw in that graphic, Taiwan Ford's 6'3". I don't believe that's accurate. I believe actually Taiwan Ford is 5'11", unless he grew in the last week. But
that'd be quite a growth spurt, Mark.
Yes, it would.
So it's 1st and 10. We're under 2 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Our score is the same as it was at halftime. 15-6, Santa Fe leads the Buchholz Bobcats. Ball spotted at the 28-yard line. Santa Fe has 3 wideouts, but there's confusion and a penalty flag. Get the feeling this will be a delay of game. It is indeed a delay of game, as they take too long to get things set up there. You know, Mark, you mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Santa Fe, known as a run and shoot type team. They like to go up in the air, but tonight it's been all on the ground.
Yeah, we haven't seen much of the shoot. It's been mostly run here by the legs of Taiwan Ford, and it's working for him.
1st down and 15. The give is to Peterson. He picks up a couple of very tough yards. That'll bring up about a 2nd and 13. 46, Arkhill Stark again on a tackle. This guy has been all over the field, not just tonight, but the last The last game as well, very impressed with the defensive end.
I think Arkell Stark is a definite candidate for our top prep performers at the end of the year. He's shown us a lot just in these 3 games that we've covered by Buchholz, flying all over the field, making the key tackles and the key plays for Buchholz.
Already getting in that promo for the prep performers of the year. I'm sure fans anxiously awaiting that. Number 60, Shane Gosselinga on the tackle. Another short game for the Raiders. It'll bring up a 3rd down and long for Santa Fe.
Of course, the Buchholz Bobcats coming here, taking on a past state champion in the Raiders, but the Buchholz Bobcats also won the 1994 8 state champs. 40-10 record in the 90s. That includes last week's victory over Eastside. Quite a program over there at Buchholz.
Well, if my math is correct, and I will show it off at any time possible, that's 80% winning percentage. 3rd down and long, a screen pass by Santa Fe. And
number 2, Trail James.
it appears they'll be short, just short of a 1st down. That is only the 2nd attempt of the game for Santa Fe, the 1st of the half. They are now 1 for 2 with an INT as the lightning strikes here at Raider Field. The rain has stopped, though, as both teams have been able to fight off the conditions. And we're winding down the 3rd quarter of play here, just 5 seconds left. Santa Fe will punt the ball. The kick is up, and Harris calling for a fair catch. He grabs it fine at the 31-yard line. That's where Buchholz will take over when we start the 4th quarter. The score is the same after the end of 3. Santa Fe leads Buchholz 15-6 here on the Cox Cable 8 Game of the Week.
Don't miss Family Pool & Spa's Summer Super Sale. We have to make room for the new 1995 maintenance-free spa, so we're closing out all 94s at huge savings, like this 7-foot deluxe portable lounger for just $9.99. With over 20 models on display, 9.5% financing or 90 days, same as cash, we're sure you'll find a luxurious spa at Family Pool & Spa. Hurry, once these 94 models are gone, so are the fantastic savings at Family Pool & Spa Centers.
We're busy at Gainesville Acura prepping cars for our summer clearance sale. Hurry down, don't wait.
That's right. Get huge savings on new Acura Legends.
Try to get a drive underway. They're going to need 2 scores to get back in this one, so they're going to have to start it early. And the give is to 22 Leon Payne, and he's knocked out of bounds at the 40-yard line. A gain of about 8 yards on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd and 2.
Well, Mike, now we're in the 4th quarter. I'm surprised that Leon Payne's still in the game. He's been doing a great job for this Buchholz offense. I have to wonder why Vontrell Mitchell hadn't got more carries. Buchholz needs 2 scores, like you said, and Vontrell Mitchell has to be a part of that.
Well, it appears to me, Mark, as George Dean just going with the hot hand right now. Leon Payne's been very successful on the ground, and when it's not broke, don't fix it. Continue to stick with Leon Payne. 1st and 10, Payne still in the backfield. Vontrell Mitchell is lined up wide left. Anderson in motion. He is also on the left-hand side. And it's a fumbled snap. A penalty flag, and I believe Santa Fe has recovered the ball. Surely that will be a motion penalty. R.J. Anderson did not wind up in time there. But if Santa Fe did recover, they'll decline it and have the ball, and that's exactly what's going to happen. 1st down, Santa Fe. Turnovers, once again, proving detrimental for the Buchholz Bobcats offense.
Looked like a lot of confusion there, Mike, as Buchholz went to line up to the ball. George Dean tried to call a timeout. Doug Johnson didn't see him. And there was a fumble in the exchange between the quarterback and the center, and a big mistake there by Buchholz. They're trying to get back in this game, and down by 9 points. They got a long way to go.
Well, on that note, it'll be 1st down and 10 for Santa Fe. Good field position at about the Buchholz 37-yard line. And the give is to number 12, Tonio Mazon.
Number 12, Tony Mazon on the carry. Stop by number 7.
It'll bring up a 2nd and 10, and now let's go down to the field where our own Jason Alpert has something for us. Jason.
Hey, thanks a lot, Mike and Marcus. I want you guys, if you noticed during the 3rd quarter, Ricky Rembert, the 2nd running back for these Buchholz Bobcats, hasn't been playing that much. It seems they're trying to show their depth at running back, and they've inserted little man Leon Payne. The 5-foot running back has gotten a lot.
Jason Alpert wiping the remains of that banana off his chin and managing to do another crystal clear sideline report. And like Jason said, Mark, Buchholz has been going with the hot hand, Leon Payne, but a fumbled snap proves to be a costly miscue as Santa Fe now has the ball deep in Buchholz Bobcat territory. It's at the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 7 yards to go. A big play for the Bobcat defense right here, Mark.
Battling for Arkell Stark to get his guys ready. It seems like he's been leading this defense with his big plays. Let's see if Arkell Stark can make something happen for the defense.
Well, it's a keeper by Freddie Lucas, and he makes a cut, goes down at the 10, the 5, touchdown, Freddie Lucas. A 35-yard score for the quarterback on the keeper. They went to Arkell Stark's side, as a matter of fact, but not he or any other Bobcat defender could pull the Santa Fe quarterback down. And another bobbled snap, and nothing doing this time for Jackie Osborne. He was going to try to pick up his 3rd and 4th points of the ball game here, Mark, but it wasn't in the cards for Mr. Osborne. So it's 21-6. Buchholz still just 2 touchdowns away as we're under 10 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Really a surprise call there, Mark. I was surprised to see on a 3rd down and long a quarterback sneak.
It's the kind of thing that John Carter will throw at you. He does all kinds of things with his offense. We haven't seen much of his run and shoot offense, but he's putting together some plays that work. Unfortunately for Jason Smith of Buchholz, he missed that tackle. Let's see if that young man, he's a 6'1", 185-pounder, can redeem himself later in this game. He's a big hitter, and he's done some good things for Buchholz this season. Unfortunately, he missed that tackle and led to another score for Santa Fe.
Well, perhaps that call by John Carter indicative of the lack of passing efficiency they've had so far. And much like Buchholz going with the hot hand with Leon Payne, Santa Fe staying with the hot hand in their running game.
Kicking for the Raiders, number 5, Taiwan Ford.
As we get set to kick it off.
He likes to use those running backs as kickers.
And it's a squib kick just past the 40-yard line. It's returned by number 35, Lee Earl Williams.
Number 35,
5'8", 165 junior tailback. He brings it back out to about the 43-yard line. And that's where the Buchholz will have it 1st down and 10. And Mark, I really believe, this might sound a little bit premature with just under 10 minutes to go in the game, but I really believe if Buchholz wants to get back in this game, they have to sustain a penalty-free, obviously no turnover drive here, and try to get something. They have to get in the end zone right now.
Mike, that offensive line is cut down on the penalties, but the turnovers have killed them on the last couple of series where they've had something going. Let's see if Doug Johnson, with his experience, can find R.J. Anderson here.
Well, R.J. Anderson again facing a double team. He goes wide right. Doug Johnson scrambling right, still on his feet, and it throws it away, and no grounding call. And there you see Anderson down at the Santa Fe 45-yard line. Didn't quite see what happened. He was running a curl route, running over midfield. Again, double coverage as he has been all night, and he is down on the field. And what a big loss, Marcus, that would be for the Buchholz Bobcats.
That would be a big loss, as you said, Mike, for the Buchholz Bobcats. If R.J. Anderson went down, they've had some trouble at that other wide receiver spot trying to get somebody to complement R.J. Anderson. I think Doug Johnson got flushed out of the pocket there, and R.J. Anderson was coming back to the ball, and I think someone laid a lick on him. We'll have to get one of our sideline reporters, Jason Alpert or Ivan Gatewood, to see what happened there to R.J.
Well, Jason and Ivan, I'm sure, are aggressively looking for the inside story on that last play. And a good sign for Buchholz fans. R.J. Anderson walking off with his own power. There you see RJ. He's the X-Man, the X-receiver. 6'3", 175 pounds. Held to only 2 catches last week against Eastside. That's because of the double coverage. He again has been double covered tonight, but has managed to see some light. The give is to Leon Payne, and he's got a big gain out to the 50-yard line before he is ankle tackled at midfield. Again, just a couple tackles away from hitting a big one. The main weapon, and the main weapon Buchholz will have to fight right now is the clock. Just over 9 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. They trail 21-6. Leon Payne is still the back. RJ Anderson is back in, wide up, wide left. Mitchell wide right. They try the quarterback sneak. Doug Johnson goes straight up the middle, and I think he'll have a first down. And indeed it is a first down. We just got word on that play before. RJ Anderson, nothing serious, just got the wind knocked out of him on that play. But he is back. And Buchholz will certainly need his services as they look to put together a rally. 1st and 10 from the Santa Fe 47-yard line. 2 backs, 2 wide receivers. Johnson back to pass. The blitz is on. Throws it intended for number 20, Theo Cooper. Incomplete again. And Mark, it just seems to me we've covered it's our 3rd Buchholz game here in the year. They have not been able to find another target. The
line can protect him a little better.
2nd down and 10, and the secret weapon, Brad McCancis, lined up at the tight end spot, but the give is to Leon Payne. Penalty flag on the play. That'll probably be a holding call. Payne grabs about 3 yards, but I think they're going to bring this one back, Mark.
George Dean has to like what he sees, though, as far as the running back position. Seems like he's coaching a Pro Bowl team as far as the running back position goes. He can't decide who he wants in there. It looks like his man right now is little Leon Payne.
Payne has been doing an admirable job at the running back duties. However, that one will be brought back on a holding. Played a factor of loomed large. And the Bobcats, it seems whenever they try to sustain a good drive, they get it called back on a penalty, and this drive has been no different as we're 2nd down and 20. Anderson in motion. Johnson back to pass, is nailed and fumbled, but number 67, Matthew Talbot, picks it up and recovers at the 34. Santa Fe, Marcus, had the pressure. They are really getting in there on the passing plays.
Robert Wheeler just charged in there and laid a good lick on quarterback Doug Johnson, jarred that ball loose. Offensive coordinator for Buchholz, Bob Smith, I'm sure he doesn't like to see his quarterback treated so roughly.
Well, they bring in Vontrell Mitchell back in the game on a 3rd down and a cheap cab ride. Mitchell will try to help out with blocking duties here as they have been in Doug Johnson's face virtually every play. Santa Fe not showing blitz. They do blitz, though. They send 4 or 5 guys. And the screen intended for Vontrell Mitchell incomplete. Mark, once again, too much pressure for the Buchholz Bobcats.
A lot of pressure there. Buchholz was setting up a screen to Vontrell Mitchell. Mitchell's shown us a lot out of the backfield as far as his running skills, but I believe that's the 3rd pass he's dropped in the last 2 games that we've watched. Not sure.
Is in to punt the football. Just under 7 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter of play. And a penalty flag as McCants is pressured. Skies one up and bounces around the 50 before rolling to about the 47-yard line. Let's see what the flag is. You know, 9 times out of 10, Mark, it seems if we see a yellow flag, it's on the Buchholz offensive line, and special teams, no exceptions to the rule.
Well, Mike, you see the Buchholz Bobcats wearing the black and gold. A lot of times, I don't know, it might be that psychological thing, but a lot of times when teams wear black, they get a lot more penalties. Reminiscent of the maybe Los Angeles Raiders, Oakland Raider days.
Well, let's go down to Ivan Gatewood on the sideline. Ivan bringing up a very valid point tonight. Santa Fe hasn't passed much, but they haven't needed to. Part of the reason because of this man, Taiwan Ford, who continues to break tackle after tackle before being forced out of bounds by about 3 or 4 Buchholz Bobcat defenders. This kid is strong, Mark.
I don't know how much he bench presses. I don't know if it's as much as our little man Leon Payne, but Taiwan Ford shows a great ability to break that initial tackle and make something happen. He always gets that extra 3 or 4 yards. He's always lowering the shoulder pads, and I'm sure the college scouts like that.
What a luxury for Coach John Carter to go from a guy like Caloris John. 5, play fake to Taiwan Ford. Rather, they give it to Adrian Peterson, and he's got nowhere to go. Picked up maybe a yard or 2. It'll bring up a 3rd and short for the Santa Fe Raiders as we hit the 6-minute mark of the game. And with the 6-minute mark comes the rain. And a reminder to catch Video Visions. Catch all the top R&B, and jazz videos on Video Visions. This week, get up and close and personal with R&B group Immature on the artist profile. That's Video Visions, Friday at 6 p.m. and Sunday at 9:30 p.m. here on Cox Cable 8. And it's gone from a slight drizzle to a torrential downpour here at Raider Field. If this was a baseball game, they suit out, he's going to be drenched.
I don't know, but
Number 15, Freddie Lucas on the case.
his credit card's overcharged and he has a wet suit.
Well, while our sideline guys fight the rain, we're comfortable in here. And there you see Ivan Gatewood fighting the rain. He's durable, he's slick as all. He's Ivan Gatewood. Well, Santa Fe has a 4th down and long. They'll punt it away. Interesting to see how the snap will go. But we'll have to wait for that snap as the officials call timeout. I hope it's not a water break. Certainly all you got to do is open up your mouth to grab some quenching H2O. It is a Santa Fe timeout. And there you see Derek Harris. And we're going to go down in the field. Our own Jason Alpert has the raincoat and all set up. Jason, give us a report.
Buchholz Bobcats game. They're having a lot of trouble running the ball, but they're going to have to in this rain. Going through the air is not going to work for them right now, so they're going to have to keep it on the ground even though they're way behind.
Okay, Jason maybe got a little waterlogged the first segment of that interview. Couldn't quite get the words out. And Santa Fe still ready to punt. Derek Harris is the return man. The snap is low, the kick is up, and Harris will let it bounce, and it'll sludge out to about the 27-yard line of Buchholz. Well, they'll have it, and apparently the rain has taken its toll on our scoreboard here. 58 minutes and 47 seconds remaining in the game. That, of course, is not accurate. Our last check, we were under 5 minutes to go in the ball game, but the scoreboard has given way. But not us, Mark. We're still on full throttle here.
And we're pretty dry, too, unlike our
Pretty
friends.
dry.
And unlike our friends Ivan and Jason down the sideline.
Ivan and Jason fighting the elements. And our Matt Gilliard is also down there fighting the elements. You know, I'll tell you what, Matt Gilliard,
he's top of the line.
He is top of the line. He's full class. You know, it's a good thing he's down there to help out Jason and Ivan. Matt playing the role of the St. Bernard today, just going ahead and giving relief to the people suffering down there. Gilliard, a hometown favorite here at Raider Field. We mentioned last week, Jason Alpert, despite the boos, they love him over there at Citizens Field, but this is Matt Gilliard territory. They knew that. They were excited right away. There you see Matt on the left shaking. Matt trying to get a guest spot on Video Visions. I don't think that's going to happen.
But in all seriousness, Mike, Buchholz does need to get a drive together here right now.
Well, way to take on the Santa Fe Raiders in a rematch of last year's state semifinal matchup, September 17th at 7:30 p.m. and Monday, September 19th at 3 p.m. Only on Cox Cable 8, your local sports leader.
Of course, Vontrell Mitchell stuffed on the last play by number 78, Corey Dawson. Buchholz trying to get a play off here. We have no idea how much time is left.
Well, I get the feeling, Mark, it might not be enough for Buchholz. As they go to the air, Vontrell Mitchell covered one-on-one with number 3, Josh Haywood there. But nothing doing. Haywood was with them step for step. It's just going to be too hard, Mark, for Buchholz to get any kind of passing game, and a little too late, though, to run it out. Not a good situation here for the Buchholz Bobcats. It appears as they will fall to 1-1.
Well, Mike, I don't want to be premature on that because I played Swami before in the Kickoff Classic, and as you know, Ed Janes pulled out the miracle and they defeated the Buchholz Bobcats. Let's see what George Dean has left for these kids and see if they can get back in this game.
Ed Janes probably putting your picture on the old dartboard after that game. 3rd down and 13. Johnson scrambles left. He'll run it before being forced out of bounds. Nowhere to go. Dragged out by Stephen Boggs. Boggs, the 5'7", 145-pound linebacker of the Raiders. Penalty on the play, and it's a personal foul. They're probably going to call that a late hit on Santa Fe. Kind of a questionable call, but then again, when it gets this late, officials are going to be looking for that, looking for the winning team to get a little too over-aggressive, and that's exactly what happened on that last play. So Buchholz will move up 15 yards to about the 46-yard line, and the rain just keeps on coming. Doug Johnson under center, goes back to pass. He's got 4 wide outs. He goes to the secret weapon, Brad McCants, but it's picked off by number 3, Josh Haywood, the 5'11", 160-pound defensive back of Santa Fe. And Mark, for all intents and purposes, I think you can put the nail in the coffin in on this one. I'm going to go ahead and guesstimate and say under 2 minutes. Our sideline reporters, Jason Alpert and Ivan Gatewood, are currently working on that, insisting they know the time.
I hope they have a waterproof watch.
Well, 21-6 is our score. There you see the band. Mark, you spent some time in the band. Tell me, as one band member to another, how do you fight these conditions here? How can you, especially if you play an air instrument, is there any distortion, a slight case of cacophony there, if you will?
I think you just have to put away the wind instruments and the drummers keep drumming. You know, I was a drummer, and that's what it's all about, Mike. You got to sweat out the conditions, be a gamer.
Our Mark Overstreet, always a gamer, as a drenched Jason Alpert now joins the booth, raincoat and all. And we just have word there is about 3:50 in the game. So much for my guesstimation. So under 4 minutes to go, 21-6. Santa Fe has the ball. 3rd down. 3rd down and short. They're down at about 3 yards to go. And I wouldn't expect anything fancy right here. The give is to Ford. And he is tackled by a host of tacklers led by number 6, Derek Harris. It'll be close to a 1st down. We'll wait for the officials to give the official word. And there you see number 4, Vontrell Mitchell, who had a great first half, rushing for over 71 yards. Mark, very quiet in the second half, hasn't really been a factor.
Well, as our sideline reporters informed us, it seemed like George Dean was wanting to go with a hot hand, and that was Leon Payne. It seems like every week we get a new Buchholz running back that steps forward.
Well, for Santa Fe, 2 running backs have stopped forward. The man you just saw, number 9, Adrian Peterson, along with number 5, Taiwan Ford, who has been the difference. Ford scoring all 3
make that 2 of the Santa Fe Raider touchdowns. Freddie Lucas also had one on that 35 quarterback keeper. So it is indeed second down for Santa Fe. The rain's still coming down, and the referees blowing the whistles.
Looks like it might be a delay of game penalty, or no, it might be against the Buchholz Bobcats. I don't know.
And a reminder, it's a new season of rap, reggae, hip-hop, bass, and more on Bring the Noise. Check it out this week when we talk with go-go rapper DJ Cool on Bring the Noise, Saturday at 6:30 on Cox Cable 8. DJ Cool, Mark. He's quite a performer from what I hear. I have his album right next to the old Barry Manilow and Frank Sinatra, sandwiched there right in between. Another penalty flag. It's a false start on Santa Fe. They'll make it second down and 10. The cheerleaders are running for cover. The fans are running for cover.
And we're dry.
And we're dry.
That's one good thing we can say, huh?
And now our statistician, make that Chris Fickenshire, cousin of Matt Gilliard, down there on the field. Chris Fickenshire has also taken cover. The give, again, up the middle. Number 9, Adrian Peterson. He picks up a couple. Guess what? 46, Art Hill Stark on the play. The rain hasn't stopped him from making tackles.
Well, this Buchholz defense has done a pretty good job. They've just given up a few big plays, and they missed 2 key tackles on the long runs by Freddie Lucas and Taiwan Ford. They've done their job. You would think the Buchholz offense would average more than 21 points, but this is a tough Santa Fe defense. And the rains came, and not a good situation for Buchholz. Couldn't get anything going on offense once the rain came.
Well, you know, I'm really surprised, Mark. If you would have told me after those first couple of Buchholz drives that they would have only put 6 points on the board, I really would have had that, found that hard to believe. It appeared as if they had the offense going well. R.J. Anderson caught 4 passes in the first half. Vontrell Mitchell had over 70 yards rushing. It looked like Doug Johnson was sharp on all of his passes. It appears as if the offense was going to have a big day, but they just haven't been able to get it going. Again, penalties and turnovers have been the story, and that's something Coach George Dean will certainly stress in the locker room at the conclusion of this game.
Well, I think they lost a lot of the momentum when that offensive line did not give Doug Johnson the protection to throw the ball, and that's why you saw R.J. Anderson not getting those passes.
And the give is to Taiwan Ford. Breaks a tackle, spins, and is finally brought down. 44, Brad McCants in on the stop, along with 31, Jeff Carter. We called Jeff Carter's name quite a few times tonight, the former Sambacker. So that'll bring up a 4th down for Santa Fe. I don't even know if it's worth punting in these situations, in these conditions. There you see R.J. Anderson. It's been kind of quiet in the second half, but he waves hello. Again, the same thing, Mark. R.J. Anderson has been double-teamed the last 2 weeks, and that's really something Buchholz is going to have to work on. They're going to have to find an alternative receiver to take some of the load off of R.J. Anderson, and we can just keep looking forward to the double teams.
I think a lot of these teams that have seen the Eastside game and the way Eastside defended R.J. Anderson, they're going to look at that tape. Now they're going to look at this Santa Fe tape, and they're going to see that that's the key to defeating Buchholz.
And that's going to do it here at Raider Field. 21-6 is your final score. Santa Fe is the winner over the Buchholz Bobcats. We'll be back right after this.
First, Coach Carter, tell me, what does this mean over Buchholz mean to your club?
Well, it just means it doesn't matter really who it was. We need this. These guys needed a win, and we just came out tonight. I think our kids wanted to. We're a little bit hungrier. We were, you know, we lost the preseason game, and we lost to Newberry. We're sitting here. They say we're 0-1, but we feel like we were 0-2, and we felt like we had a better ball club than that, and we were just we were wanting to get out here and win a ball game. Didn't really matter who it was against.
Coach, Freddie Lucas only had a couple passes during the game. You had the running game going, obviously, very well. How is his throwing? Talk to us a little bit. We really haven't gotten a chance to see it this year. How's it going to be when he does need to throw the ball?
Well, he can throw the football. We work on that so hard. He can throw the football. It's not a problem. He can certainly throw it, as everybody out in practice can attest. But I don't think you should jeopardize the situation when you got a chance to win a game running it. And, you know, we wanted to hold them down to their number of possessions they had, and we felt like we could do that by simply controlling the ball. We're not afraid to throw it. We got receivers, and if somebody makes us throw it, we'll throw it.
Well, they didn't have to throw it that much tonight because they had the incredible running of this man, Taiwan Ford. Taiwan, you had over 140 yards. What was it that made tonight such a great game for you?
I think because we came together as a team, and then we stopped blocking better. And when we stopped being individuals, I think that helped me a lot.
It obviously helped you a lot with all those yards rushing. We were walking over here about to talk to him, and did the rain help you? Did it hurt you? Do you like playing in the rain? Talk to me a little about that.
Well, as long as I control the ball, it don't matter. As long as we win, it don't matter if I play in the rain or not.
Well, it's raining. They won, and we're just about to get out of here. Back up to the booth, Mike and Mark.
Okay, Jason Alpert looked like doing the end of that video inside a kaleidoscope, Mark, but Taiwan Ford indeed was the key tonight. And Mark, what does Buchholz have to do now to...
RJ got off early with some good catches, but then the protection broke down on that offensive line. Doug Johnson didn't have enough time to find his receivers, and he took some good shots there today. It's something offensive coordinator Bob Smith's going to have to work on, as well as George Dean. And they have to find a way to get R.J. Anderson the ball. I think that's the key to the Buchholz success.
Well, you mentioned R.J. Anderson and had a big first half, but tailed off in the end. And again, I can't belabor the point enough. I can't help but thinking what more he could do if they could somehow avoid the double team. And the only way that they're going to do that is to have another receiver, a Niel Mingo, or a Theo Cooper, another guy step up. Otherwise, continually, R.J. Anderson is going to have these kind of nights.
Well, Coach George Dean made the lineup change. He brought in Theo Cooper for Neil Miengo. And Theo Cooper, we just did not call his name that much. He wasn't there as far as the receiving and the passing. So someone, like you said, has going to have to step up on the other side to complement R.J. Anderson.
Well, as for the Santa Fe Raiders, they didn't have any success through the air, really. Just completed one pass to go along with an interception, but they didn't need to, Mark. They controlled the ground game. Taiwan Ford, another big game, over 140 yards. Also Adrian Peterson assisting, and Freddie Lucas, a 35-yard quarterback sneak, which turned out to be the key play in this ball game. What does Buchholz expect any changes on the defensive line, or is this just a overpowering offensive line from Santa Fe? Well, statistics, there they are. 21-6 again is your score. And rushing yards, Santa Fe 266. The trio that I mentioned earlier, Adrian Peterson, quarterback Freddie Lucas, and Taiwan Ford, all contributing to that. Passing yards, Santa Fe only had 5, but they needed less than that as the running game controlled throughout in the course of the game. 271 total yards. And one more time, Mark, penalties hurting the Buchholz Bobcats, 8 of them for 50 yards.
Of course, most of those came on the offensive line, and that's another thing that they're going to have to work on, as well as the protection. They're also jumping off a little early, a couple of delay of game penalties. Just a few things that Buchholz needs to work on. They're a good team. They just need to make some improvements throughout the season if they're going to hope to slip into those playoffs and do well.
Well, the rain started to pour here in the second half. Didn't prove to be too much of a factor, although I guess if you ask Buchholz, they would have rather off or